Told future daughter-in-law to dump my entitled son. In retaliation, he proposed to a new girl with my money, so I kicked him out and had him arrested. My 42F son Brian, 19M, has been dating his girlfriend Shay, who is 18 years old, for about 3 years now. For context, while I love my son, I must admit that he hasn't turned out to be the person I hoped he would be. He lacks a strong work ethic and has no motivation to get a job or attend college, instead choosing to spend most of his time gaming and partying. On the other hand, Shay is the complete opposite. She is dedicated to her studies and aspires to become a doctor. She is also an excellent swimmer, and she's a part of all of these extracurricular teams and is currently attending her first year of college about 2 hours from us. When they first started dating in high school, they were a perfect match. We enjoyed having Shay around, and my son even took better care of himself. However, ever since she's gone to college, things have quickly deteriorated since then. Although I know my son still loves Shay, he neglects her and doesn't give her the attention she deserves. I feel as though it has something to do with her going to college. He chose not to. That was his decision. We didn't push him in that direction, but seeing Shay thrive in that environment seemed to highlight his own shortcomings. It seemed like he noticed it himself, so my husband and I never bothered to say anything. He became resentful, spending more and more time locked in his room, lost in a world of fantasy games that offered him the thrill and success he lacked in reality. I was home one day from work, and as I passed by his closed door I overheard him on a call with Shay. His voice was strained, almost pleading, as he tried to explain away his absence and lack of effort in their relationship. Honestly, my heart ached for both of them, for Shay, who deserved so much more, and for my son, who seemed trapped in a cycle of self-pity and denial. With Shay's obvious potential, I can't help but feel that she deserves someone better. Well, a few days after that I saw a car pull up on the driveway and he ran out to the car. Well, I thought it was Shay, and so I came out to greet her because I hadn't seen her in some time and I didn't think my son would mind. But as I approached the car, my son starts yelling at me and telling me to go back inside. So I stop in my tracks and I'm like, I just want to say hi to Shay. And then he tells me to get back inside now. And I'm like, hold on a second here, no need to yell. And so I go back inside thinking that maybe I was disturbing some heart-to-heart, or maybe they were having a fight. And then I'm creeping through the window and he leans down and kisses this person, but I can't see who it is, but I'm having this sneaky suspicion that it's not Shay. So I keep watching. And after about 20 minutes, he leans down and kisses this person again, and he stands at the end of the driveway while the car backs up, and then the car is finally at an angle that I can see inside, and this woman is not Shay. Well, my heart breaks and I'm enraged. What the hell is this boy doing? Do I say something? What do I do? So then he comes inside and I pretend that I'm reading on my iPad, and he goes into the kitchen and I ask how Shay is doing, and he said she's fine. And I said I didn't know she was in town, and he goes, that was just a buddy from school. And I said, oh, you should have invited them inside, I would have made lunch. And he goes, they were just coming to drop something off quick. Then that night, while my husband and I are in bed, I'm telling him what I saw and he says to stay out of it. He said it's none of my business. But then I say we failed our son if he's someone who cheats. And I say, where did he learn that from? And my husband says certainly not us. And then I say I don't think I can. How can we know something and no tell Lily? That would be like us not helping our daughter if we knew she was in trouble. He says to stay out of it. He says it's just the natural way of things. It's like getting in the way of the cycle of life. Well, no. I wasn't having that. During Shay's recent visit, she seemed distressed. I asked my son to go and pick up some stuff at the corner store for dinner. I told him that I had forgotten something, but I didn't. I just wanted a few minutes with Shay alone and couldn't tell him that. I took the opportunity to ask her what was wrong. Shay and I have always had a good relationship, and she's asked me out for little dates, just the two of us, every now and again. So it wasn't strange for me to pick up on something that was off and then feel as though that I had to ask her about it. She confided in me that she didn't know what to do about my son's lack of ambition and laziness. I told her that I couldn't see it changing anytime soon, as it had been going on for almost 2 years now, but it got worse when she had actually left for college. As soon as she made up her mind about going, I feel as though that's when something clicked in him. She then asked for my advice, and I suggested that she prioritize her own wants and needs. She had told me that she was planning on dropping out and coming back home and working at her grandpa's flooring store. I asked her if it was something her grandpa wanted to do and if it was something that needed to be done in order to keep the store afloat. She said no, her grandpa was fine with the store, but she said that school was just hard and it was hard to be away from Brian, and she couldn't focus properly because her and Brian were constantly fighting. She worked her butt off for a scholarship, and I told her she would be making a mistake if she dropped out of school and didn't give it more of a chance. She deserved someone who could match her passion and drive, someone who would support and uplift her in her journey towards becoming a doctor. But as much as I sympathized with Shay, I also couldn't shake the maternal instinct to protect my son. He was lost and struggling, drowning in his own insecurities and fears. But I tried to give her the same advice that I would any girlfriend of mine. Honestly, I see myself in Shay. Why would let someone hold me back like that? And I do think of Shay as a daughter, and as a daughter, why would I let anyone hold my daughter back from her full potential? Then I told her that it's not worth staying with someone who holds her back. I said now is the time for her to be selfish. Shay hugged me and thanked me and said she would consider my words carefully. My son came downstairs earlier today, furious, absolutely in a rage because Shay had broken up with him through a text message. He told me that she mentioned discussions with your mom which made her rethink the relationship, and she has to put herself first, and she has dreams and goals, and he's just not matching her energy. She basically told him that she deserves better. My son was angry that I had interfered and accused me of crossing boundaries. I explained that I didn't all out tell Shay to leave him, but simply reminded her to make her own decisions and do what is best for herself. Now my son is not speaking to me and my husband is frustrated, thinking that without Shay, my son will have a harder time getting out of his current rut. I also miss having Shay around. So, Ida? Update 1. Well, a few days after the breakup, my son comes up to my husband.